Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brooklyn 5 Light Double Shade Pendant. This is the 13-1125. A lot of details. Let's get into it. Let's talk about glass really quick on this. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's opal glass. I'm going to talk more about that later in the video. There's an embedded retaining ring here, just so you know. And their glass comes from all over the world. This is actually really beautiful glass. You're not going to be able to see the bulb through this. It's the beauty of their opaque glass. But like I said, I'll get into much more detail on it later. Okay, let's hop into the size of this to begin with. So fixture height, 6.5. The diameter is coming in at 16. And overall height, you're going to have a couple choices. There's a pull-down menu, and it's going to say choose your length. So the shortest this can be is 15 inches. One of them is going to go from 15 to 80, and the other one's going to go from 15 to 130. But if you need yours to be longer than 130 inches overall height, and that's bottom of fixture to ceiling, drop me a quick email and say you're looking at the 13-1125. Tell me what you need. So tell me you need 180 inches or 250 inches. Doesn't matter. I'm going to take your email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department. It's going to come back on how we can work with you and get you what you need. A little more time, a little more money, but it's something we do every day. So let's get into a couple of other things. Let's talk about canopy up in the ceiling, and that's going to be the part that's going over your junction box. It's coming in at 12.3 inches in diameter. It's about yay thick. It is holding a transformer. It's going to transform your line voltage into low voltage so it can safely go through those cables down below. I want to show you a little more information about that and how we're going to do it. We're going to look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how to put the glass on, which is easy with those shades too. It's going to show you lots of good information about the canopy. It's going to show you detailed drawings of the inside of the canopy and how it goes on your junction box. This is coming in only at 17 pounds, so it's super light in my lighting world, basically. So other information about that canopy. So where it says choose your finish, right? Now, you're going to have some options as far as lots of different finishes go, but down below where you have your shades, you can have an outer shade and you can have an inner shade. Well, let's say it like that. So the outer shade is going to be the finish for the fixture, and that's going to also include the faceplate on the canopy way up on top, and that's the round part that's facing down. So those are going to be in the finish you guys choose. The accent is the lower shade that is going to be kind of over the glass, and you can do that in the same finish or you can do that in a contrasting finish. You can really have a lot of fun with this. As far as the canopy goes, again, the can part of it, and that's a round part that goes up against the ceiling, is always going to be in black. And then you're going to have these little parts that are called grippers, and grippers basically do what they sound like. They grip the cables as you're putting them in so they can't come back down again. And they have a little thing called a strain relief where you take your thumb and you push it into it, and then you can actually back that cable back out. Those are always going to be in kind of a polished nickel. So these are the things you have going on as far as finishes go. Just want to make sure you are aware of all of them. Okay, let's talk about a couple of the things. Slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees, but if you are going to go with slope ceiling, give me a call and I can walk you through that part of it. What's going on down inside of this, it's not using halogens on this. This is strictly going to be using LEDs, and it's going to be using G4 LEDs. G4 LED sockets, very small, 2 little holes in them. Take 2 little points from the LED bulbs. You're going to be using up to a 4-watt LED in each of these 5 sockets. A 4-watt LED is about the equivalent of a 40-watt incandescent bulb, so that's going to throw quite a bit of light. And don't forget, you have 5 of these to play with. So best way about going about finding these bulbs, you could try going to stores like hardware stores, Ace Hardware, places like that, True Value, but it's easier to find these online, quite honestly. And there's lots of websites that you can do it. There's 1001bulbs.com, bulbs.com, justbulbs.com, and also my favorite for this is going to be Amazon, quite honestly. And I would put in G4 4-watt LED light bulb, and up is going to pop up a lot of things for you guys to look at. Really important to zero in on few things. So we talk about color temperature in all these videos. So Kelvin temperature is going to be the color of the light coming out of these. So 2700 Kelvin or 2700 K is going to be super yellow. Way on the other side of that is going to be called daylight, but it sounds like it's warm. It's not warm. That's going to be like a cold overcast day in Vermont in the wintertime. That's that bluish white light. And that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin offered on that Kelvin scale. In the middle of all that is what we like to use in our showroom. It's called warm white, and that's going to be 3000 Kelvin. That's the light coming down on my hands right now. So it's a nice warm glow, mimics an incandescent bulb. So what we like to use. So it doesn't mean that you have to use it, but there's lots of options for you guys to play with. Another thing, so dimmable fixture, dimmable bulbs. You really want to make sure that you guys buy dimmable G4 LED light bulbs for this. It's going to be pretty important too. And the other thing is definitely talk to your installer about that you're going to be using dimmable LEDs so they put the correct dimmer on the wall for you. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video, so it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6 I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.